Hey guys, here giving you guys a quick look at something that's kind of rare, and it is and it isn't. If this is in here for repair, a guy picked it up at a antique store this weekend. He paid a little bit too much money for it, if you ask me, $100, which I would not pay that for this, but not this particular one. It's missing the lid and the back's kind of busted. I'll show you that in a second. This is a Zenith Circle of Sound, they call it, record player. It's just a record player. However, it does have an auxiliary input, so you could plug like an FM tuner to it. You could plug a DVD, or not a DVD, but you could plug maybe a CD player into it. You could plug it into your phone. Any kind of an audio input you can put in there and put it on auxiliary, and you can play music through it that way. So yeah, a cassette deck, whatever, 8-track, whatever, just put it on auxiliary, but it does not have the radio built in. It's just a record player. So yeah, that was a bit steep for this, and it didn't even have the original speakers with it, which would have been, they would have been tall towers, round circles that look like cones in the top. So just the record player alone, $100, yeah, that would not be me, but it is what it is. So the record player, that's broke. Seen that right away. That's broke off there. It should be a little bit taller, and the lid's gone, so that tells me this thing's probably been knocked off of a table and broke. The needle is there, however, it's only the 78 needle. He said he tried to play records with it, and it kept wanting to go across the record. Some records would play and some wouldn't. Well, that's why, because it's on 78, and the LP needle, let's see if I can show you guys this here, but without, well, there it is. Yeah, see that? If it focuses. The LP needle is missing. So it's going to need a needle for sure. So I already got the bottom off. That wasn't hard to do because the bottom's been busted on this thing. Let's take a quick look inside. The main issue is that the records don't play right, which that's because of the needle. And, you know, it's not going to drop them down properly because that spindle's broke. And the other issue is these controls need to be cleaned really bad. You just touch any of them and the sound will either cut out, go off, or like the treble and bass, if you turn them just a little bit, you either have no treble or bass or you have all treble and bass. So this needs a major cleaning, so I'm going to have to do that. And that's the speakers that came with the thing. Those are not the correct speakers. But, you know, they're a little small even, but it is what it is. I've already got the bottom loose. See the bottom, guys? This is what tells me this thing has been broken. It's fell off of a table or something or been knocked. $100, I'm sorry, I would not pay that for this. But, you know, I'm not knocking anybody. If they wanted it that bad, you'll pay it, you know. So, there it is. This is the amplifier. Well-made amplifier. Of course, with Zenith. Everything's point to point. There's no printed circuit boards in here. There's nothing bad that I can tell. It's got those capacitors that like to go bad, but it's not here for capacitor replacement because it works. There's no hums, there's no buzzes. I played it. It's just those issues with the turntable. Let's see, this is your audio output here. There's your preamp. The only thing that's different about this, I have another chassis similar to this on another console stereo, and these transistors are soldered to the board here on the back side, where on my old chassis, they're on the other side and they're in sockets. The only socketed transistors are the outputs. So those are the drivers there. And they are soldered to the board. So Zenith was getting a little cheap with this. I guess this is a newer style. I have to find the year on this. I'll have to look for it. And same with the preamp board. You can see that transistors are not in sockets. They're actually soldered into the board. But that's okay. This is still point to point. They're germanium transistors. So, yeah, there's a couple of those little black electrolytics back there. But other than that, everything else looks pretty good. There's some Japanese capacitors in here. A lot of these are. It's when Zenith was starting to use some foreign parts, which, you know, that's all right, I guess. Like I said, it's not here for anything electronic, really. It's just here for some TLC. And I'll tell you what, this thing needs it bad. But just get to you. Normally, this would have had a nice big plastic lid on it. The back wouldn't be broken. It would have these two cool-looking round speakers that look like little towers, and they'd have a cone in them. And it's called the Zenith Circle of Sound. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, but, yeah, this one needs some TLC. Just wanted to show you that, guys. Thanks for watching.